Welcome to Santi Peace for Mathematics. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the functions of complex variable. So let us recall what will be the concept of a function. So include the two non-empty sets x and y. The rule of assigning each element of x precisely with one element of y. Whenever these situations arise, we say that f is a function or a map from x to y. So what I am saying that for each x in x, there exists unique y in y such that f of x is equal to y. So here in this definition of a function, we say that x is an independent variable. So what is your x? Is independent variable and y is a dependent variable. And this capital X, it's called the domain of the function, and whatever the values it will take, that is the set f of x, that is f of x such that x belongs to x, is a range of f. So whenever your this independent variable x is a complex number, z is equal to x plus iy, where I square is minus 1, then the function, it's called a complex function, and it is denoted by w equal to f of z. In general, the dependent variable w is also a complex number, that is represented as u of xy plus I v of xy, where u of xy and v of xy are real valued functions of two variables x and y, and they are known as a real part of a function, and v is known as an imaginary part of a function. For example, if I consider a function as f of z is equal to z square, then if I substitute z is equal to x plus iy, so we'll have x plus iy square, and if you simplify this x plus iy square, it is x square plus iy square plus 2ixy, and you know that I square will be minus 1, so that's we can write as x square minus y square plus 2ixy. So what will be the real part of this quantity is x square minus y square, and imaginary part of this quantity will be 2xy. So that means if I compare with u of xy, which is a functions of two variable, plus iv of xy, which is also functions of two variable, then we will have a u of xy is x square minus y square, that is its real part, and v of xy will be 2 of xy, that is the imaginary part of this function w is equal to z square. Now one should note here a function w equal to f of z said to be a single valued function if for z there corresponding a unique value for w is there, then it's called single valued function. So for each value of z, there corresponding a unique value of w, then such function is known as a single valued function. And there is a multi-valued function is also there. Each value of z more than one value of w exists, then such function multi-valued function. For example, w equal to z square, then for each value of z only one value of w is possible. So this is the single valued function. Whereas if you consider the w equal to square root of z, then for each value of z there will be a many value of w is possible. For example, if I have one, if I consider this as a f of z, then f of 1 will be 1 raised to 1 by 2, and then you know that the square root of 1 will be either plus 1 or minus 1 is possible, because this equation is z w equal to 1 raised to 1 by 2, so it will be nothing but the z square equal to 1. So there will be two possibilities of w's are there, either w is plus 1 or w is minus 1. That's why it is called the multi-valued function. Such functions are known as a multi-valued function, and those functions which gives the only single value are called the single valued function. So that is the about the single valued function and multi-valued function. Now we will have some example. Find real and imaginary part of w equal to z square plus 3z and calculate the value of w at z is equal to 1 plus 3i. This is a very simple example. First of all, you should notice that the domain of this function is whole complex plane, because for any value of z this is defined. So that's why the domain of this function is the entire complex plane. Now I'll start with the w equal to this z square plus 3z. So if I substitute the value of z as x plus iy, so we'll have x plus iy square plus 3 into x plus iy. Now if you simplify this, this will be x square minus y square, as you know that I square will be minus 1 plus 2i xy plus 3x plus 3iy. Write the together the real part and imaginary part, that is x square minus y square plus 3x plus I 2xy plus 3y. U of xy will be x square minus y square plus 3x, and v of xy will be 2xy plus 3y. And the second question was here to calculate the value of this function at the point 1 plus 3i. So what will be the w at 1 plus 3i? That is 1 plus 3i square plus 3 into 1 plus 3i, that is the function. Z square plus 3z was the function. So if you simplify this, this is 1 minus 9 plus 6i, because 1 square plus 3i square will be 9 plus 2 into a into b, so that is 1 into 3i, so it is 6i plus 3 plus 9i. If you multiply this 3 within inside the bracket. Now if you simplify this, what is the answer you will have is minus 5 plus 15i. That means your u of 13 will be minus 5 and v of 13 will be 15. That is the quantity you will have. Let's have the another example. If w equal to f of z is equal to 3iz plus 2z bar, find u and v, and f at 1 by 3 plus 2i. This I am giving you as a homework, so you can try yourself. Now in polar coordinates r and theta, instead of x and y are used in the function f of z, then what we'll have is u plus iv will be f of r e power I theta, because you know that if you have a number x plus iy, that can also be written as r e raised to I theta in the exponential form. So if I write down into exponential form, where w is I can write as u plus iv and z I am writing as r e power I theta, then you can have your function u and v, both of them are in terms of polar coordinates, that is u of r theta plus iv of r theta and this will be nothing but your function f of z. The objective is you can convert your function into the polar coordinates also. For example, let us take an example. Consider this function f of z is equal to z plus 1 upon z. Now we'll try to calculate what will be the real part of this function and the imaginary part of this function in terms of polar coordinates. So for that I am just substituting, instead of z I am substituting r e power I theta plus 1 upon r e power I theta will have. You know that e power I theta by Euler's identity we can write as r cos theta plus I sin theta, and 1 upon e power I theta can be write as e power minus I theta. So that by Euler's formula we can write as cos theta minus I sin theta. Now if you can just together the real and imaginary part, so that will be r plus 1 upon r cos theta plus I r minus 1 upon r sin theta you will have. So therefore what you will have is u of r theta will be r plus 1 upon r cos theta, v of r theta will be r minus 1 upon r sin theta. So till now what we were doing is, we have given a function in terms of z, we were calculating its real part and its imaginary part. Now we are doing the reverse process. That means a function is given in terms of xy. What should be the value of that function in terms of z? For example, suppose that f of z is equal to x square minus y square plus 2ixy is given to you, where z is x plus iy. The question is, express f of z in terms of z. That means I want here the expression of z should come, and you should simplify that formation. Now you can pause the video and think for that what should be the procedure to calculate or to convert this quantity in terms of z in general. So I want a method to establish for this. Any type of expression is there given to you, can you calculate or can you find out that expression in terms of z? Pause the video and think for that. So now if you have z is equal to x plus iy, the logic is, if z is this, what will be the z bar? The z bar is x minus iy. Now if I add this to equation, what we'll have is z plus z bar is equal to 2x, and z minus z bar is equal to 2iy. So that will gives me x is equal to z plus z bar by 2 and y equal to z minus z bar by 2i. Now this expressions will helpful to reduce this expression in terms of z. For example, what is given, f of z is x square minus y square plus 2ixy. Now I am just substituting this value of x here, this value of y here. So what we'll have is z plus z bar by 2 square minus z minus z bar by 2i square plus 2i z plus z bar by 2 into z minus z bar by 2i. Now if you simplify this brackets, what we'll have is the LCM of these two things. This is 4 and this is 4 into I square, that is minus 4, and that minus minus become plus here. So the LCM for this two quantity is 4. So I am just writing that here, and by doing the square of the numerator, what we'll have is z square plus 2 into z bar plus z bar square, and here this will be I square, so that will become plus here you will have, and if you simplify that, you will have z square minus 2z into z bar plus z bar square. here 1 2i is cancelled out with this 2i, and in the denominator you will have 2 only, and this is of the form a plus b, a minus b, so it will be a square minus b square, so that will be z square minus z bar square. This you will have. Now this 2z into z bar will cancel out. You will have 2 times z square plus z bar square upon 4 plus z square minus z bar square upon 2. So this 1 2 is cancelled out, and then you can observe that what will be this? This is z square upon 2 plus z square upon 2, because this z bar square is cancelled with this z bar square. So you will have z square here. So that is the final answer. The expression, given expression in terms of z you will have. For example, I am giving you one exercise here. Express f of z as x square minus y square minus 2y plus I 2x minus 2y in terms of z. Okay, so that is the I am giving you as a homework. You can take it and try to solve what is the function in terms of z. Now if you have the function f of z is equal to u plus iv, or in terms of polar coordinate it is given, then any of this given quantity, and if your v is 0, then such functions are called a real valued function. For example, if you have given f of z is equal to mod z square, you know that mod z square is nothing but the x square plus y square plus I into 0 is there. So this kind of functions are the real valued functions. Then you know the polynomial function. The polynomial function p of z will be a0 plus a1z plus a2z square up to so on. This is known as a polynomial function where an is non-zero, and this a0, a1 up to an, they are the complex number you can take. Okay, they are belongs to C. This function is called the polynomial function. P of z upon q of z is there, then such functions are called the rational function. What is the domain of this function? Domain of the function is whenever q of z is non-zero. That will be the domain of that function, and it is defined, these polynomial functions are defined all over entire functions. So these rational functions are defined except q of z is 0. See, certain other functions we already discussed in our previous videos, that is the exponential function e power z, that is e power x into cos y plus I sin y. So this is also a function, example of a function f of z. We have also discussed about the trigonometric function sin z, cos z. We have discussed about the hyperbolic function. So these are the some examples of functions already we discussed in our previous video lecture. So actually why we are discussing this functions here? Because we required to establish the calculus of complex numbers. One more thing I want to tell you here, this w equal to f of z is there, then this w is of the form u plus iv, and this z is of the form x plus iy. And the same situation you have given in the terms of real variable or real function, then you will have y and x, both of them are real number, and x is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable on x. Now when you try to plot this graph of this function, you will have to represent the x or points on x or values of x as x axis, and the values of y you will have a y axis. So you will have a graph of the function. You can able to draw the graph of function because every point on x will corresponds to value of y here. What is the situation in complex function you will have? here the z is a independent variable and the w is a dependent variable, but z is involved with x plus iy. So z itself having the two variable and w is also having the two variable u and v, where u and v are the dependent variable, depends on x and y. So originally you will have a 4-dimensional figure, and that 4-dimensional figure cannot be represented on a graph paper. So you cannot plot a graph of w equal to f of z in general. So what we can do is to represent, we can see the nature of the function, we can establish the nature of the function. To see the nature of the function, we can plot x and y in a separate plane, and whatever the image correspond to that under this function w equal to f of z, we can plot it on uv plane. So to represent xy, we'll have a xy plane, or we can say it is a z plane, and whatever the image of whatever the quantity here, whatever the object is given here, correspond to that, what is the mapping of that function on to the uv plane, or it says the w plane, you will have something here to image of that is called the uv plane, and some figure you will have here. So to understand this function, we require a two plane. To represent xy, we'll have xy plane, and to represent uv, we'll have a uv plane. For example, if I take simple example, we'll talk about this concept in detail later on, but I'm just giving you a small example and I will finish this video. That is, w is equal to, if I take z plus 1, so that is my function z plus 1, and I'm considering the line x is equal to 1, or I want to see what will be the image of x is equal to 1 line under this function. So let us see what is this line x is equal to 1 in xy plane. So this is x axis and this will be y axis. So x is equal to 1 line will be here. Now what is this function? F of z is z plus 1. Can you convert its real and imaginary part? So we'll have x plus 1 plus iy. So what is your u is x plus 1, and what is your v is y. Now you can see that what is this line x is equal to 1. If I substitute x is equal to 1 here, then you will have u will be 2 and v is anything. So if you plot, this is the z plane, or I can say xy plane. Now if you can plot this one into z plane, now uv plane, this u equal to 1. So this is u axis and this will be v axis. So this is u equal to 0 line. So v equal to u equal to 2 line is here. So that means this line is transformed to this line via this function f of z is equal to z plus 1. It's transformed. What is actually happened? It will translate by unit 1, because here plus 1 is there. So you are just replacing z by z plus 1. So that's why whatever the figure is here, whatever the objective on this side, that object is translate here in this function. So the function is different, it depends on the nature of the function. So the object will be transformed in that manner. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you have any comments, suggestions or any questions, kindly write on a comment box below. See you in next video. Bye bye. Sayonara.